If you are undocumented, you commit a crime in San Diego, they will not tell Homeland Security anything about you by a 3-1 vote. The sheriff of San Diego says she isn't going to obey that law. Kelly Martinez is her name, that she is going to cooperate with U.S. Immigration and Customs, ICE. And we invited the sheriff on the program, but for some reason she doesn't want to come on. I don't know why. You would reach millions of people, Sheriff, but she's not coming on. Instead, we have a guy who knows a lot about San Diego. His name is Mike Slater. I've heard of him. He's on the First. He does my hard news portion on radio, syndicated radio, all over the country, 300 stations. And he joins us now from Nashville, where, interestingly enough, Slater moved about a year ago from San Diego, where he had lived for 12 years. Why'd you move, first of all, to Tennessee?
Gee, I don't know, maybe reasons like this, Bill? Maybe they let illegal alien rapists take sanctuary in the city that I called home. That, among other reasons. My wife's also from Tennessee, but you don't have to live in these progressive bastions.
So you moved out of one of the nicest places, climate-wise, because you were fed up with the politics?
Oh, yeah. Listen, the weather's only so nice and the beach is only worth it for so long. It's wonderful. Seasons are beautiful, wonderful things. We like snow. It's good. It's good for the soul. And Nashville is a wonderful, beautiful place. It's good to be here with people who share your values.
Okay. Now, a lot of people have done what you've done. They've moved to red states from blue states. But San Diego, historically, has not been San Francisco. Because of the military bases, the Marines are down there, Navy's down there. It was a conservative place up until recently. Is that true?
Yeah. So when I moved there 12 years ago, San Diego was a bastion of conservatism in crazy, wacky California. They had a Republican mayor, largest city in the country with a Republican mayor. The city council was 5-4 Republican, largest city council majority in the country. And the county, the board of supervisors, which population-wise, the county of San Diego, 3.3 million, is bigger than like 23 or 24 states. So it's you have 5 county supervisors who are in charge of a lot of people. That was 5-0 Republican, Bill. 5-0. Today, 9-0 Democrat city council. This just happened over a decade period. 9-0 Democrat city council. The wackiest mayor you can imagine. If you have a minute, I'll tell you what I think is the craziest example of him. And the board of supervisors, which just passed this super sanctuary city bill you were speaking of, is now 3-2 Democrat, very soon to be 4-1. So it is no longer a bastion of conservatism in any way.
Why did that happen?
Yeah, a couple reasons. People go back and they blame the loss of the aerospace industry in the 80s, which lost a lot of its conservative influence. A lot of conservatives left for that reason. There's more people there, so the military influence you spoke of is not as prominent as it was before. Price of housing has gone up so much that a lot of the military people who used to call San Diego home for years and decades after their retirement and leaving the military, they've left. So you don't have that legacy of military experience anymore as well. Then I believe you have a lot of people coming from San Francisco and LA, where, as you said, it's not nearly as nice as San Diego. Things are much cheaper, easier, more manageable, as you said, to come down to San Diego. So you've had an influx. You also had a lot of illegal immigration. And there's I read an interesting analysis before that Texas attracts a certain type of immigrant, Hispanic immigrant specifically, and California is a magnet for a different type of Hispanic immigrant. Right now, 1/3 of Californians are on some form of government welfare. Everyone may remember a story from a couple months ago where the assembly voted to give $150,000 of a down payment to a house to illegal aliens. Things like that attract a certain type of immigrant versus maybe a Texas, which attracts a more entrepreneurial and conservative-minded illegal immigrant or immigrant as well. So over decades, I believe California is a bit of a lost cause. Much was made of the fact that 10 counties out of the 58 in California flipped from blue to red. And people saw that as very hopeful and exciting. And wow, isn't this great? A new conservative renaissance in California. Now, those were all inland California counties that have been historically red for a long time. They should be red. And Kamala won California 63-34. Yeah. There is no conservative movement in California.
Well, even if there were, the big cities are going to dominate. Now, Tom Homan, the new, his job is basically to get tough on the border. This San Diego thing has caught his eye. According to reporting in the New York Post, Homan favors arresting the woman in charge of San Diego County, actually having federal authorities go there and put her in handcuffs, and maybe even the mayor, who you'll tell us about in a moment. What do you think that's possible, that the feds could go in if they don't cooperate, the county doesn't cooperate in telling Homeland Security, hey, we just took into custody so-and-so who's here illegally for the charge of rape or a homicide, whatever it may be. They're not even going to tell Homeland Security that. And it seems to me that's interfering with the federal investigation, because the Trump administration made it quite clear these people have to be deported.
Yeah, it's always been very frustrating to me when you hear even congressmen say we need to pass comprehensive immigration reform.
Yeah.
They're like, no. All the laws are on the books. You just need to enforce the laws. And Tom Homan, I don't have it off the top of my head, I'm not the border czar, but he rattles it off like U.S. code, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I looked
we
it up.
researched it. There's no doubt they don't have to pass new laws, but they should. Tighten everything up. But anyway, what do you think the odds are that the head of the San Diego Board of Supervisors is going to be in cuffs and charged with interfering in a federal agency? That would send the message to everybody.
Yeah, I think it's her, and he's really focusing on the mayor of Chicago. I think that would be his first target,
Chicago
maybe
guy,
a little less sympathetic.
Brandon Johnson. Right.
Yeah, he's less sympathetic than Nora Vargas would be in California. But if I may one thing, Bill, I want to make sure that your listeners don't think that the new sheriff of San Diego, who was just elected 2 years ago, replaced a guy who was there for like 20 years, that she's some sort of hero in this. In California, there is no conservative influence. So you have crazy Democrats and radical Democrats. Kamala was a radical Democrat. Nora Vargas, a radical Democrat. This sheriff is just a crazy Democrat. So while she's saying she's against the county decision to tell ICE about illegal alien rapists and child rapists, right, that's radical. She's against that. She's no hero, though.
Okay, but maybe that's why she won't come on the program. Maybe that's why she won't face me.
Of course not. She has no reason to. The right doesn't exist to her. There is no common sense.
All right,
good.
I did not know that. I'm glad you defined that. Okay, last question. So the mayor of San Diego is what, a loon?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's a whole backstory. Todd Gloria is his name. Here's my favorite Todd Gloria story. When he was an assemblyman in California, he passed a bill that said children in foster care will get free sex change surgeries paid for by the taxpayer if you are in foster care. This was the beginning, him and another state senator, Scott Wiener, which is total radical. This was the beginning of a system of encouraging children to talk to their school counselors, to say lies to CPA, to get their children into the foster care system in order to get sex change operations. This is a Todd Gloria movement. It has happened many times before. There are mothers who have told their story of how this has worked. That was Todd Gloria in the assembly. And the people of San Diego, what used to be this conservative bastion, Bill O'Reilly, beautiful place, like the pinnacle of just California, loving and California, everything's amazing. They voted him to be mayor, and they just voted for him to be reelected.
Okay.
We've lost San Diego.
That's too bad. It really is. Yeah. Hey, Mike, Merry Christmas. Thanks for helping us out. We'll talk soon, okay?
Merry Christmas, Bill.
All right. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X. Look for @Bill O'Reilly.